guys, it's Cash on this fine Friday, and I just wanted to talk about a couple of things. A lot of people, I've been talking to a lot of targeted individuals, a lot of people that have experienced this in the past, and there's just a few things that I wanted to talk about. First and foremost, I think a lot of people are very confused, and it is very confusing. You want to figure out who's doing this to you, who is behind it. But ultimately, I think that that's not so much important. I can tell you right now, it is spiritual, and it is Satan. So just forget about everything else. Okay, so whether it's the police or it's a private investigator hired to, make your life miserable, it's your crazy ex-narcissist and his girlfriend, it doesn't matter who it is, okay? The core of this, what is happening to you, it is satanic, and Satan is behind it. So that should just take away everything, because if this is happening to you, this is cult activity. Nobody, I know that there's neighborhood watch groups and stuff, but neighborhood watch is just code for people that want to get together, that have nothing else to do, and they want to talk about the people in the neighborhood that are actually out living their lives. And I came to that conclusion a long time ago, when I was in grade school, when the lady next to me, my neighbor, was all about this neighborhood watch. And I told my mom, I was like, please don't join that, because even then I knew what it was all about, just a bunch of nosy people. But that is the root of this. Satan is the root of this. So forget about everything else, okay? Now, there's other things that happen during people's targeting that I've been hearing about a lot, and that even happened to me. They're going to try to convince you that you're Jesus, or you're, Winston Churchill, or some other dead historical figure reincarnate. I'm here to tell you that you are not that person. So do not let them trick you into believing that, because they try to do it to me, and I was just like, whoa, this is pretty crazy. And the stuff that was happening, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, what if I am? But you are not, okay? And if you do believe that totally with every fiber and inch of your being, don't say it out loud, please. That's the goal that they want. They want you to go around telling people that you're Jesus or Winston Churchill or, I don't know who else, Gandhi or somebody of importance like that. You're not. You're yourself, but you yourself have the power to be something great like that, because obviously they're targeting you for a reason. You're an independent thinker, you go against the grain. Myself, I've been doing a lot of research, and I find that women 30 to 38 are prime targets of a program like this, because cops, God love them, but they are predatory. So they have no problem stalking a female, or, having a female harassed that's not married. They actually probably enjoy it. I am not married. I have no kids. I was engaged once, but I felt that, it wasn't forever. So to me, if I'm going to get married, it's going to be to somebody that I know that it is forever. I'm not doing the divorce thing. So if I'm getting married, that's the end all be all. If you ever see me with a wedding ring on, you know that he is just the bee's knees, because I don't believe in just getting married because society says that that's the way to do so. And I've spoken before. I've had an abortion. I am not happy about it. I am not proud of it, but I will also never have children with someone that I do not deem as a good father figure, you know. I just wouldn't put my children through that, and I wouldn't put myself through having to deal with someone that it just isn't up to par, isn't up to my standards, as to what I would want to raise children with. So I think those things, the fact that I'm not married, I don't have kids, they kind of like look at me like, oh, well, what's wrong with her? She must be crazy. She's not buying into the whole societal, everything that they push on us, basically. And that's why a lot of people, I feel, are so unhappy in this life, because they buy into all that bull crap, that you have to be married to be happy and have kids, and then they go and do it and they're like, oh my God, my life sucks, So I just feel like that is something that they look for, people that just go against the grain of societal norms, free thinkers. So it's really not a bad thing to be a targeted individual. It means that you're unique and you're doing something that they think is, you can't really be controlled. You're hard to control, and you're not really somebody that they want going forward, because they want robots. They want people, in their phones, not caring about, that self. If you notice, we're all about self-love, self-this, self, and that's what they're pushing us towards, but they don't realize they're creating a culture full of narcissists with all this self-love and self-everything else, and they don't mind, because they want everybody to be about themselves. So, yeah. So, what did I say? Number one, don't be confused about all this. Forget about all of it. If it's your crazy ex-narcissist stalking you, so be it. If it's the police department, trying to see what you're doing because you're living too good, whatever. Just know, at the core of this, at the top of the pyramid, it is Satan. And if you hadn't noticed that Satan runs this world, you need to open your eyes. Forget about Colin Kaepernick and Nike and sports and all these other things that are just distracting you from the bigger picture, that this world has entered into a period of extreme darkness. Look at Christian Bale thanking Satan in his acceptance speech. Was that acceptable 10 years ago? People would have been like, what the hell? But now it just seems to be okay. So, one, Satan is in charge of this. Don't rack your brain. Don't worry about who is behind this with you. That is the number one thing. This is cult, demonic activity. Number two, if you're going against the grain of society, if you're trying, if you can think for yourself, you probably will find yourself as a targeted individual. And number three, if they're trying to convince you that you're Jesus, or I don't even know, who's that famous poet, Shakespeare, or, somebody that you are not, don't believe it, because you're not. And if you do believe it, don't say it out loud, okay? So that's all I have to say. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and God bless.